Welcome everybody to the Digital Dreaming of the Gridiron podcast. I'm your host, Austin Lee. We're going to be a short episode talking about the current NFL offseason. So starting off with the 49ers, a report emerged a few weeks ago from Adam Schefter stating that Trey Lance is not close to being as ready as the Niners thought he would be. But I don't know how much validity there is to that because it looks like Jimmy, the trade, I guess the Jimmy G trade train hasn't really slowed down any momentum. Right now, I think it looks like Pittsburgh and the Washington Commanders. That's a report which came out today from ESPN that Pittsburgh and the Washington Commanders are pretty much the front runners or the most interested in exploring a trade with the 49ers for Jimmy. So not sure what they're going to give up. I mean, but essentially, I think that should be kind of a good fit. Just speaking on what Jimmy can bring to the table. If Trey is not ready, I mean, maybe Ryan. I remember Ryan Clark on ESPN a few weeks ago said that the Niners would be better served if they're able to kind of, I guess, get rid of Trey and Jimmy in favor of A-Rod. And currently in Green Bay, I guess A-Rod and Brian Gutekunst, the relationship hasn't really improved. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, there's a lot of things that could transpire, from here to now. But anyways, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting, an interesting offseason. I really hope that the Niners can figure something out. Both with Trey and Jimmy, if we can get a franchise quarterback, because I really feel like that's been the Niners' kind of biggest Achilles heel so far. Then yeah, I mean, it would be great if they can get that going, and we'll see what happens in Green Bay too with Aaron. Other news are obviously Brian Flores, joining Pittsburgh, as assistant defensive coordinator. They basically said the lawsuit had nothing to do with it. He just happened to be most qualified for the job. And pretty much Patrick Mahomes as well as Eric Bieniemy, a former teammate of a guest on the show, Trey Mack. They had some bad blood heading, into the AFC Championship game, which resulted in the Chiefs lose to the Bengals. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens there too. I don't know honestly what's gonna happen. I mean, so we'll see. Other news. The NBA, so it looks like LeBron James pretty much, there's a report coming out that Bill Handy liked to post, so LeBron James isn't really committed to winning on Instagram. Bill Handy and LeBron have kind of gone at it, publicly, earlier in the season. So, I mean, no surprise there. Phil is obviously committed to the game. He's a great coach, assistant coach. He's been around in the game for a long time. LeBron has demonstrated a lot of heroics this year. He's been carrying the team, but the team hasn't really given him the same kind of commitment. Honestly, as a Lakers fan, I mean, I don't really know what's going to happen. If LeBron is able to if they're able to retool the roster, I mean, I just think it was a stupid move on Blinken's part, not making any moves before the trade deadline. I think that the current roster can win a championship because now we're basically fighting for a 9th seed, which is what Jay Wilson on ESPN a few days ago with Max and Keyshawn. And LeBron should not be in a position to fight for a 9th seed. LeBron should be trying to contend for his 5th championship, right? So I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens to the Lakers. Obviously, the portals came out that LeBron wants to join Bronny and pretty much, go there or go wherever Bronny's going to be drafted in. And they'll basically be the first ever father and son to play together in NBA history. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens there. I mean, there's a lot of different kind of things or just nuances that are details that need to work out. My opinion, if I'm going to do power rankings, I still think Phoenix is the team to beat. Being the Western Conference champion and still holding the best record in the NBA. From the East, I mean, it's still very compelling. Obviously with KD, that's like the best team. But without KD, it could go any way. Chicago, Philly, there's a lot of teams in that mix. So we'll see. I guess outside of football and outside of basketball, obviously politics, Ukraine. I mean, Alexander Usyk, the heavyweight champion of the world, recognized by four organizations. He's a division champion. Not division, but recognized by 44 organizations as heavyweight champion. He basically is in Ukraine, as well as Vladimir, as well as Vitaly Klitschko, and another Ukrainian boxer. Tyson Fury recently said today that he doesn't he supports them fully, and he said if UK ever got attacked, then he'd be there at the front lines, being willing to be the biggest 6'9" target for the enemy. So kudos to obviously all the boxers in Ukraine, everyone out there fighting. But yeah, I mean, I think Tyson Fury said recently also that, after this fight with Dylan White, he's going to probably retire. And he has $150 million, like he stated in his press conference. So, I mean, there's a lot of incentive for him to retire, right? So, outside of that, the Rams, they were Super Bowl champions. Looks like they haven't really lost too many key pieces. John Lynch, I guess another report in the NFL, John Lynch was asked, kind of why no 49ers coaches were at the combine. And so basically he replied saying that, we of course, if we want to go out, we want to have a presence there, but, losing guys like Mike McDaniel, and he basically said that, we're happy to have, those guys the opportunities, but there's those gaps you have to fill, right? So essentially the Niners, I guess the front office and the head coach and the coaching staff, I guess the kind of direction that they're going is they're wanting to really ensure that whoever is kind of bought in to kind of replace, all the holes that have been lost, they're going to be ready, right? So, yeah, pretty much, I think that's pretty much wraps that up, from all things sports. Outside of that, is there anything else? No, looks like it. I mean, pretty much looks like that's it. So anyways, yeah, California, man, we need to get some rain. It's been pretty cool. It looked like it was going to rain. It was a 40% chance forecast today, but there wasn't any. So anyways, California, yeah, we couldn't get any rain today. So essentially, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with the 49ers situation as that continues unraveling. I'm curious to see if I really want to see the Adam Schefter report. Obviously, he did report Brady retiring, and he was right. And so essentially, I said we'll see what happens. I mean, I think, if Trey is not ready, then we're gonna have to. Then Shanahan as well as kind of Lynch are gonna have to progress things. So outside of that, yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna. There's a lot of good things to look forward to, in football. Outside, also Valor BK 2 is gonna be coming up soon. Anyone who is interested, you can go on Ken Shamrock Official or KenShamrock.com and find out more about the event. So yeah, no, definitely, yeah, there's a lot of good things in store. So yeah, no, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how the second event goes. And yeah, UFC looks like Jake Paul was called out from Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett said that Jake, if he comes into the UFC, because he's currently in talks with Bellator, that Jake would basically get destroyed. Paddy has called out Jake a few times, on occasion in the past. So, it would be interesting to see that fight. Conor McGregor backs up Paddy, because I guess they're both, I think the word is Scouser. I'm not sure what that word means, but yeah, so Conor and Paddy, because Conor says his family's half Scouser, or I guess they're from, or Conor says his family's half, they share some common descent, I believe. And now I might be mistaken in saying that, but that's what I interpreted. So, and that's pretty much it, guys. So yeah, that's this episode. Next episode, we'll have Ryan Harris on in a bit. So thanks to everyone for tuning in for this short little segment for sports updates. I'm Asif, signing off.